Live from Television City in Hollywood. What up to the Podversity? Everybody sleeping in the cloud. Welcome to the Blacklog, where we talk black about TV, film, music. Sometimes we just digress and drink coffee. My name is Ryan. My co-host, my brother, Ryan is on the other side. Say what up, Ryan.
What's happening? What's going on? What's
Hey,
up?
hey.
What's up? What's up?
Hey. No, we not doing that show. We doing good times. What's up?
Hey, quick shout out to etiffanycreations.com. Tiffany Custom Creations. You get your apparel needs. They will make anything for you. Small business, support them. Also, yeah, that was about it. Oh, there is one thing.
For all your apparel needs.
I did want to ask you this. Remember the song Poor Georgie by MC Light?
I remember it. I remember in her canon. I don't remember it like that, but I do remember. Wait,
But
Georgie
it was basically,
Porgy?
yeah. It was, and it was done from the Georgie Porgy song by, well, I know now it's from, what was the name of that group that did Africa?
Toto?
Toto. Yeah, they're the ones who did the original song.
Oh, no, Toto. I don't think we're in Kansas anymore.
Yeah, so, I was listening to that song. I was listening to that song today on my bike ride, and it just popped up. I didn't know this back when it was out, but that is a sobering song, bro. Like, it takes a real hard turn right, bro, like somewhere in the middle. Like, at first she's talking about this guy, that she met in the club, and she liked him, and he liked her, and she didn't care about, the other girls.
You're talking about Lights, right? You're not talking about Toto, right? You're talking about Lights.
No, I'm talking about MC Light.
Yeah, so I'm talking about Lights version. Okay,
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah, and she met this guy, and she talked about how much she liked him, and she didn't care what other girls he had on the side, and then all of a sudden, he had cancer in his colon, and he drank too much, and he had a car accident and died. Bro, it took a real dark turn, bro.
Wow.
Real dark turn, bro.
I really didn't listen to that song. I am going to have to go re-envision that one. Oh, my God.
Yeah.
Colon cancer?
I know it has nothing to do with what we're talking about, but I was like,
That took a...
And it's not like I don't remember. I remember when I used to listen to it back in the day. I used to be kind of the same way. Just not as much now, but back in the day, I was kind of like, this is an interesting turn of events.
That song took a Get Out move.
Yeah.
Oh, my God. Hey, as we've been saying, and I guess the first show of the year, second show, we are talking about good times.
Okay. I thought it had cooled down. Ooh, my goodness.
Yes, it didn't. We drink coffee here. We are now doing episodes 5 and 6. Episode 5, my lucky number. I don't know if it's lucky for Michael, because it's called Michael Gets Suspended. Written by the co-creator, Eric Monty, also writer of Cooley High, and directed by Herb Kenowith, done Different Strokes, One Day at a Time. He's done a lot of other stuff. I'm just saying what might be familiar, because Herb was born in like 1917 and died like in the 90s. Like, Herb put time. Yeah, Herb has been around. We opened with JJ painting a guy playing basketball. As we know, Ernie Barnes did all the paintings for this show. In Ernie Barnes fashion, the arms are very exaggerated and longer than the body. Thelma comes up and she mentions that the arms are too long. It irritates JJ. They begin to argue. And of course, Florida comes in doing laundry, because she's forever doing laundry. She tells the kids to stop arguing.
Yeah, I just did not remember that part originally when I used to watch it when I was younger. Like, that was literally the first time I had ever seen that.
It is. I'm seeing it differently too. I'm like, I don't remember this. Florida then notices the painting and says the same thing that Thelma said. Like, well, JJ, the arms are too long. I want to note, I know you and I have talked about this, but I'm going to say it again. They're just sitting at home in the middle of the day, and Michael is at school. It's kind of weird to me, but I'm past it.
They probably, I mean, high school usually gets out earlier than elementary schools. They may have just gotten home. Who knows?
Okay. Even though they look quite comfy, because Thelma's always reading a magazine, and JJ is deep into this picture, but I'm gonna stay away.
I mean, as soon as you walk into that home, I mean, there ain't nothing else to do but sit down and grab a magazine.
Ain't that the truth? In the Evans mansion, Walona enters with a magazine for Thelma, and she makes the same comment about the arms being too long. I have to make a note. I wanted to make sure I said that was said 3 times to JJ. This painting is called High Aspirations, and on November 7th of 2023, the original sold for $875,750. So I guess JJ had them arms right. JJ got them arms right. So the original sold for $875,000. So JJ, Florida Thelma Walona, shut up. Michael enters from school, and Florida's like, boy, why are you home 2 hours early? Florida inquires. Michael kind of tries to avoid it, but says, I got suspended. And everybody says, suspended? And what happened? I said that George Washington was a racist. And Florida just goes, where did you get off calling the father of our country racist? Right. And I forgot that term, the father of our country. I guess he's the father of a lot. I bet he's the father of a lot of Washingtons.
Yeah, bruh. I mean, I get it. In that time of, I guess that time of, as far as the 70s were concerned, but, Florida was just a little too into to defending George Washington, bruh.
I know.
I'm like, man.
I'm gonna talk about that a little bit later too. She's like, he was our president. Michael says he was their president, and you got,
Again, bro, Roots
has not happened yet, and James has not become older Kunta Kinte, so we haven't gotten.
Hey, man, that does not take away from the fact that Florida doggone well knew about slavery.
Yeah, that's true.
She was like, yeah, he owned slaves, but.
Everybody's like, and Michael is like, he said, you got to go to school and apologize. And Michael's like, nah, I'm not. That's kind of like, wait, hold on. This little bit of defiance is like, and Walona's like, you better do something before Hurricane James get back in it.
Yeah.
And ding dong, who enters in his tight tan corduroys, but James Evans Sr. And everybody, hey James, oh, I know you're tired. You want to take a nap?
Yeah. Everybody wanted James to go to sleep. Everybody.
And he kind of like, nah, I'm good, baby.
Hey, Thelma came out. She was like, Daddy, you still awake? Awake?
It's like, what the hell on? What's going on here? What the hell is going on here? And suddenly Michael comes running out the room or whatever, and it's like, boy, what you home for? And that's when we learn that, he learns that Michael got kicked out of school. And that's when we end on Florida looking towards the heavens. Lord, I know you're busy. But this is top priority. I need help, and I need it quick.
It's funny? I didn't go back to our last episodes, but I was sitting there thinking, didn't I just see this same speech in the last episode? I really couldn't remember before. I never went back to check it.
Well, you talking about the speech?
Yeah.
Florida's calling to God a lot. Lord,
I mean, I know that, but almost that exact same speech, bro.
I mean, that's like I told you last week about. It's like when there's a problem, all of a sudden they go to the back. It's like maybe you should just go outside, because everybody knows where you are. Go for a walk. Just say.
And Michael,
because when Michael said, he was.
I got suspended. He said that with a little hair on your chest, huh?
Yeah, I mean, you know what? I always appreciate it when Michael or JJ said something that made James be like, hold on. Because he's supposed, James feels like, I'll say something.
Yeah.
It's supposed to. It's like, what? Wait, what you say? You know, they come back and they start right into it. James is like, how you going talking about George Washington, like he's the goat of POTUS to him. It's like talking about
the man who's on the front of money. What?
Yeah, he said that man's on the dollar bill. But JJ said he owns slaves. He's like, if the dollar is the way it is today, he ain't gonna buy too many slaves. That was funny. He said that with a straight face. He said, the dollar's the way he ain't going to get too many slaves. Man. And JJ, Michael, he stands by it. It's like, for real? Like, because at one point he says it, and James, doesn't he lifts him? You know how he usually do lip up?
Yeah.
I'm serious, Daddy. It's like, and then as he says, y'all need to go in the back room. And Michael remains, and it's like, you and Mom about to talk? I think I should remain since you talking about me.
At one point, though, JJ said, I claim innocence from my client on the grounds of insanity.
Well, that's later. He does say that.
What's that?
I claim innocence. He does. He does do that later. He says, no, that is right there. Oh, I'm sorry. That's not. It's right there because when he comes running out, and he says, "What you two doing here?" I'm his defense attorney, and she's a stenographer. He said, but Michael is really, really like, yo, I'm saying that the man was he was a racist, and he sends them all to the back, and that's when him and Florida started talking, and his whole thing was, James got to say, you were trying to hide this from me in this house? And it's like, I wasn't trying to hide it, James. I just was trying to remedy it. So I was trying to solve it before you came home. And quite honestly, if Michael would have gone home and apologized, you know what? He could have gone unseen. And then we could have talked about Florida for lying. Miss for your blasphemous ass. When you lying, Florida, you trying to... Miss all glory to God. You lying, Florida, talking about your Bible and white Jesus. You lying. Trying to lie to James, But it was funny when she said, James said, I need to know everything and anything that goes on in this house. You want to hear it? You want to hear detail? Blah, blah, blah? Sure. Well, I woke up at 7:05. At 7:10, I went to the bathroom. At 7:40, at 7:15, I fixed the kids' oatmeal. At 7:40, I washed your shirt. James wasn't. He was definitely.
Yeah. But there was one more thing, though, I needed to make sure you knew about. Because I started thinking about this. Walona had already left. But kind of like that LL Cool J episode we did when we did LL Cool J's Bad album, Bigger and Deffer, I might add. We never did say that during Bigger and Deffer. That's what it stands for.
That's what it
stands. You kept saying you wanted to see how many times they said jocking or jock.
Yeah.
Or riding a jock.
Yes.
I found myself starting to do that with the Rona Barrett of the projects. We are on number 2 of being called the Rona Barrett of the projects.
Yeah, because Walona comes in there later, because Walona's like talking about trying to protect. It's later on, but trying to protect Grants. I really want to say, Walona, this ain't your house.
No.
Walona, this is not shit.
She said something to the effect of, Can a neighbor have a say so in this?
He said, "Do you want some of this spanking?" That's what he said. That's what he basically said. You want to take some of this spanking for him? Well, I guess, and that's what she says. I guess the Rona Barrett of the project should go to hell back home. The hell she, but they're arguing, and what he's talking about, 70. She's talking about the details, and then James is like talking about, girl, I've been washing dishes. I washed 200 dishes tonight, and then I went to the car wash. And I was like, where's this restaurant that y'all got that much heat coming in the middle of the...
Hey man, people in and out, bro. They need to get their food. I mean, shucks. Think about how much traffic used to be over there at Mama San over at Howard China.
Man,
that traffic was constant, bro.
Constant, but it was a carryout.
Yeah.
So
maybe he's washing. I don't know what he's doing. Can't be washing pots.
Maybe like Don.
He can't be washing dishes at the carryout.
What is he like, Don Cheadle at Rush Hour, thinking like he's Chinese?
Yeah.
But suddenly they had forgotten. They didn't argue so much with themselves. They didn't forgot about Michael and stuff. And he's like, James, he doesn't want to apologize, and that's what Florida says. And James is like, well, some things only a dad can do. And basically he's saying, I'm about to put the pie out on that ass. Mm-hmm. He gonna respond to me. He called Michael out. Michael, come out here. And that's when JJ and Thelma come out. It's like, what are y'all out here for? I'm the defense attorney. She's the stenographer. And that wasn't. I thought he was going, for some reason I thought he was going to say assistant defense, but he said a stenographer. That made me laugh. And then James says, Michael, I want you to apologize. And Michael says,
nope.
No. And that's when he lifts him up and talks to Michael.
Nope.
But Michael's standing on business.
Yeah, and Michael said, hey, he ready for it.
But he sends him to his room. He says, you got 10 minutes to change your mind. You got 10 minutes. And he's literally talking to he drinking a bit. See, that's another thing. I mean, well, let me state. They all go to the room, and JJ and Thelma are literally trying, look, man, just lie. Damn. Just lie. That's all. You ain't got to go through this. Just go to him saying, I apologize. You ain't got to mean it. And Michael like, I'm standing on principle.
Nope.
Now, Thelma makes a desperate attempt and says, Michael, I'll give you my autographed picture of Billy D. Williams.
Michael pulled one on him. Michael was like, oh, for real? Is he a part of the black movement? Nope. I don't want it.
He did. I was kind of shocked with
and might I add, Billy D. Williams, for those of you who don't know, probably could be the Denzel Washington of that era.
Oh, he was the Denzel.
Except he couldn't act as well as Denzel. I mean, he could act, but he wasn't Denzel acting.
I don't think he got the opportunities because it was the 70s. I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong. But nah, he was good. He was good. He has a good... You want my arm to fall off? He does that in Mahogany, bro. It's kind of... You want my arm to fall off? and the guest shot on the Jeffersons was always special.
I was trying to remember, like, which show was he on? Oh, yeah.
Boy, he kissed Marla Gibbs. That was so funny. That was so funny. You know what? I know this is a digression, but right before I came out to visit you all, I was at Chase Bank and I was getting in my car and I looked at this old woman in the next car. It was Marla Gibbs.
Really?
Yeah. Wow. And so I was telling somebody, they said, did you say anything? Nah, because she's like 93. And I felt like if I had like said something, I might like giving her a heart attack or something like that.
Bruh, let me tell you what you don't want to be.
The person
you do not want to be the person who gave Marla Gibbs a heart attack, bro. Oh my God, bro.
Because I was very excited, but I was like, if I go to a car window and do, hey, and then she do this, and I kill Marla Gibbs, that would not be good.
And I just saw her on an interview where the one thing that stood out that she said was that everybody likes me. And I was like, yeah. I was thinking like, yeah, you're about right. And boy, if you would have said something, I'd have been like, bruh.
Gave Marlon Gibbs a heart attack. That would have been horrible. It would have been horrible. JJ, his last picture's like, man, put the puppy dog eyes on him. You can do it. You put the puppy dog eyes on. Now, we go out to James in Florida, who's still talking about it. This really isn't good, because James is drinking a beer, counting the minutes to go and apply discipline himself.
You don't really think about the fact that, you know, he's pretty much, I mean, that beer probably ain't do anything to him, but it may, a beer can make your hand just a little heavier. A little heavy.
A
beer too, your hand a little heavier.
He says, well, time's up. I gotta go. And James goes in the room. The kid, JJ and Thelma leave. And Michael is manning up and is like, Michael? And he jumps on it. He just lays across his lap. And
Hey, but wait a minute. What about your boy JJ, bruh? JJ said, well, better you than me.
He did. Just don't give a damn. He just does not. Like, why? Well, better y'all. I was like, wow, bro.
We tried.
We tried. James, like I said, he's in the room, and Michael just lays over his lap like, yeah, I'm ready to take it. And James like, what's wrong with you? James all sensitive, like, did you wait? And it's like, well, he said, you see these hands, Michael? You know what they mean? The ones that's gonna beat me? and it's like, well, I mean, and he tells him, no, I don't want you to have no hands like this or whatever. And he says it, and then Michael lays over his lap and just like, man, what the hell are you in a rush for?
Hey, man, he's like, man, I'm ready to get this out the way.
He said, man, I'm just like my hero, Crispus Attucks. And this is when, who the hell is Crispus Attucks? Crispus Attucks was the first black man to die in the Revolutionary War. And James is like, because James is, well, of course, we going to hear this line. Where you laying that at? In my Black History book. Man, that book has so much knowledge.
That was a serious Black History book that he had.
That thing had everything in it, man. And then Michael starts telling him about people in Black history, Daniel Hale Williams dealing with the first open heart surgery. And then he says, and he reads off, he says, this Pedro Hermano, it's Hispanic name. And James is like, hold on now. And you know, huh?
No, I'm thinking about something that he said. I'm talking about later.
Oh, you talking about? He said he's talking about this. It's like there ain't no brother no Spanish. It's like no, Dad. It's like he said a black person sailed with Columbus, and he says us.
Bruh.
He said a spook sailed with Columbus. I was like,
I am not addressing that until later, and you know where I'm going with this already.
I was like,
but you know what? When as much as I like good times, just like I said when Florida was talking about the white Jesus and how she was like, "It's the only Jesus I know." Same thing with James, bruh. When he said, every time I saw that part, I would be like, ha, 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 ha.
But the kicker is that Florida comes in trying to run some interference to find these two talking. Florida, you know a spook sailed with Columbus. I was like, number two.
Again, bruh.
I said, I was like, oh my God. But at that point in time, this is 74. The N-word is being said in some TV shows.
I ain't talking about
I'm not defending.
I'm talking about spook.
I'm
not even talking.
I think they're on the same train, right? There's somewhere to say.
You're right. But something about, I don't know what it is. Something about spook, bruh. Something about spook.
All I know is then Florida it's like, what's going on? And that's when he learns all this. And that's when Florida says, what made you go to the Black History book, Michael? Michael said, there's nothing about us. So I just knew we had to have done something. And she says, if you hadn't found something wrong in the first book you were reading, you would have never gone to the second book. And in my opinion, loosely translated, if the schools in this area weren't overpacked, severely inferior, and lacking in resources, you would have never walked through a warlord's neighborhood to find a goddamn history book. And I was like, are you literally saying in Florida? Look, our poor schools are what made you do this. I was like,
That's basically what you said.
Man, I was like, oh my God. And then James, he apologizes for wanting to whip him. Michael says, if you can do this, I can go apologize to Miss Danvers.
I don't know about apologizing for wanting to whip him.
I appreciated this. As a black father and a son, he was able to say, you know what, I was wrong.
Yeah,
I like that was in 74.
Yeah, you can appreciate saying that you're wrong, but all in all,
I mean, I understand. I mean, but I do, and I did talking about Miss Danvers. Miss Danvers is the teacher. I must say that I overlooked this. How everybody said, Thelma said that she had Miss Danvers. She's a horrible teacher. JJ said she had there. Then Walona said she had a teacher. And I'm not gonna lie, Florida said, how long has you been at this school? And that was pretty.
JJ though. JJ said, yeah, she's so old. She'll fall asleep. He said, baby, children, the War of 1812 was fought in 1812.
Man, that was, I missed that part, but it was fun.
Hey, JJ's delivery on that one.
Yeah, it was pretty funny. Then they have the epilogue where Michael cannot find his Black History book. And James, who is always complaining about money in the shoebox, says, you better go renew. He has the Black History book.
And I do believe that by this time, Michael's probably in the 7th grade, which would make him above a 6th grade education.
Yeah.
And I'm pretty sure the books that he's getting are above a 7th grade education.
Michael is. Yeah, he is older. Yeah, Michael's about that age. I do laugh at how Michael always says his Black History book when it's actually part of the Harold Washington Memorial Library book. That's what it is. It ain't really your Black History book. You have a minstrel moment?
What, a Shagu moment?
Yeah.
Yeah, my Shagu moment, ironically and unfortunately, goes to James Evans. A spook sale with Columbus?
It's cringe. I think you're looking at it through 24 eyes, because back then.
Yeah, I am. I'm looking at it through 2024 eyes, 1974 eyes, 1984 eyes, and any other 1994 eyes, whatever eyes you want to put it through. A spook sale with Columbus. I'm sorry. Shagu moment.
Now, when Fred says the N word on Sanford and Son in court.
And you know what? You'll never hear me complain about it.
But this,
you'll never hear me complain about it. Yes, and if it sounds like I am contradicting myself, then I am contradicting myself. There is something about it's almost spook and words like spook and jigaboo, and I don't know what it is. And maybe because the N-word is just part of my vocabulary. I don't know. But I don't know. But spook and jigaboo, you walk down the street and say, "What up, my spook?" And see how far they get you. when you see your boy at work tomorrow, say, "What up, my jigaboo?" And see where they get you.
Oh man.
See where they get you.
I had.
Did you have a Shagu moment?
I'm on the Madonna. I'm on the borderline. It's that
I
Florida.
get it.
It's
Yeah.
Florida. It's Florida calling up to Lord. I need you now. Just kind of.
That was pushing it.
It's
That was
pushing.
borderline right there.
Borderline.
I could understand your struggle.
Exactly.
I could understand your struggle.
The quote of the show, I had a tie, and it was, well, again, when Florida says, Miss Dan was taught me, how long has that woman been at this school? And when Michael's telling James that a black man said, because, oh, wait now, ain't no Pedro Alonso Nino, couldn't be a brother. That was just, he was like, oh, no, don't make me lie. You lying to me now. He was like, come on now.
Very adamant about
He was
that.
very adamant to get it. For you?
My quote of the show was Michael. Ain't no blacks named Nixon.
It is a winner.
They were like, there are many blacks named Jackson and Washington. Ain't no blacks named Nixon.
And I mean, if this was today, that show would have gone into, and why they named Washington and Jefferson and Jackson. This is still an issue in the black community. Hell, right now, Black History is MAGA wants to take Black History out of the schools.
History. And
Yeah.
what did I write? You said that. All I said was history issues. Issues with history. Literal issues with historical events that happened. Let's change them.
Dad nostalgia.
Dad about to lay into me about something. I do recall this. It was kind of a Cosby moment. My 9th grade year. You know, bro. I'm 9th grader, bro. You know, I'm going out and chilling and having a good time. I'm doing good in school. One class, a little off, you know. One class a little too off. And for some reason in my head, I got the thoughts to tell mom and dad, you know, school isn't all that. It isn't all that. You know, it's grades. What's going to happen? I can't use this later on. I can't use this later on. I can't use this stuff later on and blah, blah, blah. Your dad was like, boy, what the hell is wrong with you? And after that, all I did was listen and say, yes.
That 8th grade year saying,
Yes.
oh, makes you think you're kind of a little bit of an adult. And then you kind of get beside yourself because you're not a freshman, and that was your problem. And it was
my freshman year. But it was my freshman year.
Exactly.
It was my freshman year.
You had a year 8th grade on you, and you brought that to the table. You said, hey, you could have been like, hey, Bobby, let me tell you something. And then
I was like, basically I was just kind of like, hey, you know, where am I going to use this? When am I going to use this later on in life? Blah, 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 blah. And that's all those were the last words I remember after just saying yes, no. He said, what the hell is wrong with you? Okay.
For me,
didn't go the way I thought it was going to go.
The nostalgia for me was spankings. I remember all 3 of them. One happened at 5, one happened at 10, and one happened at 16. I was telling the girls about it. I said, baby, I remember everyone. Everyone. Because it let me know. Think about that. I went from 5 to 10. I went 5 years to say, because I always remember. I remember what happened to me when I was 5. It took me from 10 to 16. It was like, ooh, I'm good.
Hey, I remember one time your pa was going to put fists on me. Fists. L-A. Look. Hey, look. I was supposed to take the SAT or ACT that Saturday, and they had a Sweet 16 party right up the street over there by Kenilworth I can't remember the name of that place over there by Kenilworth.
Some place you shouldn't have been.
Yeah. But look, I hit it like this. I was like, hey, I'm just gonna pass by this party, and I'll be home. We're just going over there for a little bit. We'll be back. I'll be back by 11. It's all good. And they were like, you gonna be back by 11? I said, yeah, I got the SAT or ACT tomorrow. Yeah. We got to that party.
Can I stop
It
you
was
there?
me. What?
The moment you said by Kenilworth, I know this story because your mama called me.
Rojay's, that's where it is.
Because your mama called me and told me the story. And so I need you to talk to your brother.
It was at Rojay's. That's where it was at Rojay's. I remember. And man, I was in there with my boys, and I was like, man, this party is rolling.
Don't let your boys get you in trouble.
No, my boy was actually trying to get my boy Sean. He was like, man, I said, man, I told you, man, I wasn't trying to hang out. And I actually brought him home. He was the responsible one. I told my boy Van, I said, man, I'll be right back. I'm going to drop him off.
You drove home. You drove past your house.
Bruh, Kenilworth's right there, bruh. You know how close Rojay's and Kenilworth is. I went down, went straight up Morrison, came right back.
How closely were your daddy, man?
Hey, I came in that house about 1 o'clock, and I tried to do the quick. Good night. Ryan, come in the room. Hey. Now, what time did you say that you were going to be back? Well, I said that I might. Bruh, when that word might came out, all I heard was, don't you lie to me. And he got up, and your mama went.
The arm of safety. The arm of safety.
And I was like, I was like, oh Lord. He is really, I think he's really gonna kill me.
We're digressing. We don't want we're digressing. Yeah. That episode, a little nostalgia.
Yeah.
The Blacklog is sponsored by
Did you have any background Brent quotes?
Oh no. It was all straight to the point.
Everything was straight to the point. Yeah, everything was straight to the point.
Nothing hidden. The Blacklog is sponsored by Fade to Black Funeral Homes. Death is a part of life, so put life into your loved one's death at Fade to Black Funeral Homes with t-shirt printing, tattoo artists on site to commemorate your loved ones. Fade to Black. Up next, episode 6. JJ Gets a Patron. I do appreciate these titles. They to the point. Ain't nothing.
Yeah.
Ain't no mystery. Ain't nothing cute about it. JJ gets a patron. Michael got suspended. Black Jesus. This is what it is. And now back to part 2 of JJ Joins a Gang. That type of stuff. Love it.
And that's exactly how they would come back to the continuation. And now part 2 of JJ Gets a Venereal Disease.
Just straight to it. And now
beware, this episode includes sensitive language about venereal diseases and other things.
And now back to part 2 of JJ Dates a Heroin Addict. Bruh, it's just to the point. No surprise. Episode 6, JJ Gets a Patron, written by Larry Siegel. He has written 10 episodes of Good Times. This is his only episode of Good Times. He's written 10 episodes of That's My Mama. A lot of one episode offs at Chico and the Man, CPO Sharky, a lot of shows that were here and there that don't really resonate. The director was Herb Kenilworth. He gets work. We open on a painting of JJ. JJ's doing and it's a guy shooting pool. And the real painting is titled Jake. We move to find JJ sleeping on the sofa. Florida is cleaning the kitchen, and she happens to find what I think is like a 20 by 20 cloth. Like she turns to like, oh my God, what is this? Like you didn't see this big giant cloth? Like And she looked at the paint stain rag, and then she goes to check JJ about it. Like, then Thelma enters, and she's complaining about JJ. There was a green tube of paint left, and I almost had green hair. And I really kind of want to say, come on, Thelma, how dumb are you? Are you really gonna pick up a tube of green?
Hey, man.
That and Afro sheen, that's two different things. Man. I'm just saying. James enters because he's been sleeping, I guess, taking a break from the car wash, asking about all the noise, and talking about how he's trying to sleep. And Florida says, I want you to talk to JJ. James turns to JJ and says, hi, JJ. How you doing? JJ says, not bad. James says, good. He turned to Florida. I talked to him.
I'm going back to bed.
Oh, an angry Michael enters. He's complaining about that he's been protesting about black policemen. I wonder, like, do you just let your kids go to protest?
No. Was he protesting about black policemen?
They were protesting about needing more
police.
I'm sorry, they needed more black policemen. I'm sorry, they needed more black policemen. Yeah. But I'd be like, boy, you be at regular. They just like let him go to a policeman like he going to the.
I said, who busted up this? Who busted up your protest? Black officer.
That was funny. Florida talks to James and say, look, JJ's paint supplies have been quite plentiful around here. And
hope he ain't been finding things.
That just always works. I'm not gonna lie. That just always works.
She always got me with that one.
JJ lets it be known, I've not been finding things. I have a patron. It's funny, and James has this quizzical look, and he looks to Michael. That's a sponsor. And it made me think of Smitty. It made me think of Smitty and them on Sanford and Son. It's like, a patron is a sponsor. Huh?
You know what's funny was that when they said as a sponsor, I was sitting there thinking, does James know what a sponsor is?
Yeah, with that 7th grade education.
Sixth grade education.
6th grade. Yeah, don't sell him short, huh? He explains that the guy saw his paintings downtown. He brought some paintings, and he gave him $10 for art supplies. And I'm gonna figure that $10,074 is a lot of money. Mm-hmm. Florida said, "Why don't you paint something like trees or mountains or green meadows?" As soon as we get
something, I'll do it.
And he's kind of true.
But you gotta give him. You gotta give him credit. You gotta give the Good Times writers credit on the name of the person he painted, Sweet Willie Kuntz.
That was because he said, "Why can't you paint something jolly, something gay?" I did. This is Sweet Willie Kuntz.
I said, "What are you talking about?"
I was like, "That was very progressive." I mean, Kuntz sounds like a white guy, and but it still made me. I said, "I did. This is Sweet Willie Kuntz." I was like, "That's a good joke."
Hey, I'm looking at it like he's probably pretty happy right now shooting that pool right now.
That's what I'm
probably
saying.
Really happy.
JJ informs them that the patron owns a boutique and that they will meet him. He wants to come over and pick 2 paintings up to try and sell. He mentions that his name is Jackson, and JJ mentions his patron has a space over his boutique and that he can paint. He said he could paint there whenever he wants. James is happy, all happy about this. But this is the thing that got me. He's happy, and then suddenly he says, "Jackson." Like,
hey, you know what? That was some good acting, bro.
Because
that was some good acting, bro.
Is it because one word Jackson, like,
bro? It was good acting, bro. Because he was on it. He was like, man, blah 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 blah, and then you could tell it hit him like, Jackson. What's his first name?
And then Floyd, hold on, James. That can't be the same. It got to be. I think she said.
She said it got to be 800 Leroy Jackson.
No, I'm gonna let you wait. He said it got to be 200 Leroy Jackson in there. And I looked today, I know this is crazy, but I looked it up. Presently, there are 33 Leroy Jacksons in Chicago. I sat there and I looked it up and I counted and I said, there are 33 Leroy Jacksons. So they probably weren't 300. They weren't 200. But there was enough. And it's hard to make that statement like, hold on. But he was like, his name, I don't know. I felt like it was such a slow reaction to the whole thing. Like, wait, all of a sudden you say Jackson. It's not like you said Montenegro Jackson or Aloysius Jackson or Screaming Keenan Jackson. Something that stood out. You just said Jackson, bruh. And he went off.
74, man. Hey, man. He might not know a bunch of Jacksons right now. Who knows?
That's
I
true.
don't know.
Well, James
I know one thing. Leroy Jackson stood out for him.
Sure did. Well, he ends up telling the story of how him and Leroy was his boy. They worked at the filling station. Filling station, gas station. That's what they called it back then. He said, we worked at the gas station. We was tight. This was my boy. This, that, the other, this, that, and that thing. And we going to go into business together. And James gave him $250. Now, remember, it's 1974. This was 20 years ago, so this is 1954. And
that's a lot of money, bro. At that time.
I will talk about that because James said he gave him the money. They were going to go into business together. And he blew the money on a horse. And Thelma's like, did the horse win? Is the elephant heavy? I got to ask. Well, I'm sorry. It wasn't he. I think I messed that up because she said something about did he lose or something like that. It was just funny. Is an elephant? I never heard it. It was like is an elephant.
Yeah, it was toward the end. Once he finished the story, Thelma said, "Did the horse win? Is the elephant heavy?"
But that means he would have won, right?
Huh?
Because he lost the money on the horse. But he lost the money. He lost the $250 on the horse.
Yeah.
That was kind of, now that I hear that, that's kind of, it was just so funny at the moment. Be like, that means he lost it.
Bro, you got me. I'm confused. Yeah, I got to go back and watch it now.
I am curious what business. I would have liked to know what business they were supposed to go into because I figured it out. $250 in 1954 is $250. In 1974, it's worth $2,932. Today, it's worth $19,467. So I'm understanding why James is hot. I don't know how many car washing jobs he saved that much money in 1954 from, but I can sense his anger. Florida insists that it can't be him or whatever, this, that, and the other. Leroy arrives, and it is Leroy Jackson. Leroy looks so surprised, like, James? Like, that's James Evans. I never thought I'd see. Y'all both been in Chicago for the last 20 years, and like all of a sudden, because when I looked at that, I was like, Robert Email would have been like, when people borrow money, you ain't forget to borrow money, right? But you forget to give it back.
Oh, yeah.
You cheat somebody out of $250. You remember that person.
Yeah.
That way, I had my question. Nobody forgets stuff like that. But Leroy, he starts, man, what did he say? James said he was mad. He said, get the hell out of my house. And Florida said, ain't going to be no violence in his house. He said, ain't going to be no violence. I'm going to punch him, and he going to go out that door.
One thing about James, boy.
James
is about that action.
He bought that smoke.
About that action.
He bought that smoke real quick, boy. He always like won. It's like when they said you just got one chance with James. Look here.
Yeah. Yeah.
And Leroy wants to talk to him, and he's saying like, James, let me talk. I don't want to hear nothing you got to say.
Nope.
Nothing you got to say. And he puts him out the house, and everybody in the house, the kids. Everybody's
kind of like, damn, that's messed up.
That's
messed up.
Dad, like, James kind of hating. I mean, he is.
Yeah.
Am I wrong? He kind of hating.
I get it. In his mind, he probably think if he took $250 from me, he's definitely going to take advantage of a young dude over here talking about painting.
Yeah, you're right about that. and everybody's saying this is JJ's big time chance. This that. Thelma says, she defends him. Thelma, oh, you defended me?
Yeah.
I could kiss you. It ain't all that.
Yeah.
Think it crazy.
That's one of Thelma's one of her fewer funny moments.
Mm-hmm.
I've never looked at Thelma as. I mean, she had one-liners, but I can't really say Thelma was ever really funny.
Nah, Thelma was fine.
She was entertaining. Thelma was entertaining. Very entertaining.
Later years with her and Keith kind of worked out, I guess.
She did. Yeah, she had a couple of good shows with Keith. Yeah.
And her Papa relationship. Her relationship with Papa worked out too. Later years with Papa. That's when James is like saying, I'm not gonna have any of my kids talking back on me, talking bad on me. This is my house, and why you. And one thing he goes to Junior. One thing you gonna know, Junior, while you in my house, you will obey. Mm-hmm. And like JJ. Michael did in the previous episode, JJ said, "Well, maybe I don't need to be in your house." Well,
Florida was like, JJ.
He said, maybe I ought to leave. And for me, quote of the show, all of a sudden, it's rough out there. You'll be back before your suitcase stop rocking.
Hey, that wasn't even it. It was a little further down. He said, well, you got your hat, get your coat.
That was good. But, bro, to say, you'll be back before your suitcase stop rocking. Oh, I got to get out of here. This outside is bad for me, bro. It's like, but that was good because take your hat, your coat, and leave. He said, well, you got your hat, take your coat.
Yep.
Yeah. Florida is going back between the both of them. JJ and Mr. Jackson said I could use his storage over at the boutique. JJ's like, you live with Leroy Jackson? You step out this house, you can't step back. Well, that's when you go to I can make it. And he says, well, you got your hat. Get your coat.
You got your hat, get your coat.
JJ bounces out. I got to say, Robert email would have said, oh, no. That hat? And that shirt? And that coat? That's mine. You want the real one?
Yeah.
Go on. I was surprised JJ didn't do it. I'm surprised James didn't do that, man. James seemed shocked as hell that he left, and I was surprised that Florida was behind him, and he put his hand on her. She put her hand on his shoulder. I was like, I'm surprised she didn't get mad. I think today's wife would have been like, "You better go get my son."
Oh yeah,
you better go get my son. You better go get my. We go to the act break. Florida wakes up on Sunday morning. JJ's non-presence is definitely felt.
Oh yeah, everybody in the house now. Everybody in the house now is like, man, you got Michael up front. Michael sleeping alone. He's not used to sleeping in the bed alone. He got Thelma not used to being insulted.
Man, I can remember
James tried to pump it up too. Hey Thelma, ain't you? You ought to be happy. You got all of the bathroom to yourself. Thelma's like, no, I need somebody. I need somebody to go up against his bathroom.
I need a nemesis. I need my nemesis. I need my James Evans Jr. And Florida is talking to James. James is picking up on everybody. Michael, Thelma. He's like, James and Florida standing there, and she don't want to give him no. I mean, she give him some little half-ass kiss, so he ain't happy about that. Mm-hmm. We still husband and wife, this, that, and the other. They kind of arguing about JJ, and she said, "Lord, make this man more reasonable." And James said, "Don't go praying to the Lord without my permission." And Florida's like, "Don't you be that? No, don't you be that? What you call it? Don't you be that?
Say, come on, guys, got 10 seconds.
You got 10 seconds. 9. He used his watch. 8. 7, 6, 5. The look on his face. The look on his face.
That was some good acting, bro.
It was,
that was some good acting, bro.
The look on his face.
He looked like that. He looked like his watch really stopped. He looked at it like, bro, I think it really stopped.
That shook him, bro. It looked like it shook him pretty bad. They're talking. It's time to eat, and again, you could feel all the tension around the table. This, that, and the other. Michael telling God, say hey to JJ, and all this. And oh no, what is it? Thelma, Florida. That's what it is. It's like they're eating breakfast after the prayer, and Florida says, I ain't even got an appetite. I'm about to bounce. And then James tries his little couples thing when you know you effed up. Hey, baby, I'll join you in church.
I can go to your church. I can go to church with you. James know he ain't stepped to the church in however long.
Everybody would have been like, who is this? Who is this with you, Florida? This is my husband.
Oh, you are married?
We never knew. We never knew. We go to the storage space over the boutique where James is. James Evans Jr., and he's painting. And he is not used to the quiet spot. He is not used to it. He starts imitating Thelma and Mama, trying to, I don't know, give him some kind of atmosphere so he can get inspired to paint. And Leroy comes up and asks him, and he explains to him, it's just not the same like it is at home. He said, well, maybe I'll bring a radio up or whatever. And he's like, cool. He bounces out. Leroy leaves. JJ goes back to imitating home and arguing with Thelma and Mama. Then suddenly Florida comes up, but she doesn't reveal herself. And she's listening. Mm-hmm. Like her poor son and going crazy or whatever.
That's exactly what she looked like. She looked like, said, Lord have mercy. This poor boy. This poor boy ain't going cuckoo.
Sure has. She goes in and she starts talking to JJ about coming back. In Florida, she says, I think you want to be home. We want you back home. And you and your dad got to come to some kind of agreement. She's about to leave when she's shocked to see James there. He makes some BS excuse and says, I came over I was missing my red checkered shirt. I thought JJ might have took it with him.
Because we know all of James' shirts are checkered shirts.
The killer part about it was we saw JJ leave. JJ took all the clothes on his back and all his art supplies.
That's it.
Just lying. And then they get to the point where it just basically is like Florida calls. They say, look, you here because you know you want your son back. And he could see, but he's like, but still, don't you trust that Leroy Jackson? Don't you trust that? And that's when Leroy enters, and James said, get the hell out of here, Leroy. This isn't Leroy.
Man, this is my house.
This is my house, bro. And he said, and you gonna listen to me, and I've been wanting to tell you this.
This is actually the funniest part of this episode, bro.
You ain't lying. Because when he said, you in my house, and I'm gonna talk, and you gonna listen. I've been wanting to say this.
Slam the door in my face.
Yes.
He said, and then James turned around. See this? You see this? My friend, and he went through this whole litany, and he said, so what you got to say? But James, I'm sorry.
And what got me is it said, you sorry, but where's my $250?
Yeah, because James just like, that's all you wanted to say? Yeah, man. And it's amazing. It's amazing that everything
was solved by that.
Fixed.
But the $250, he kind of got over that. Like as a person who is seemingly always tight on dollars, it thinks like you want that $250. And also, Leroy, if you were really sorry, you'd give me my money back.
Yeah.
Am I wrong about that?
No, not at all. And I am quite certain that $250 will go a long way in that household right now.
Look, we saw when they was on that Black Jesus streak, he won 150. He came back with 140. He had $290.
150 long ones.
Bruh.
150 at a long green.
He got $290 in a 24-hour span. He got $290. What you think $250 would have done for him right now? Leroy, you and your you need to take some of that boutique money and you need to pay me. So all is good because that's when James says, You know, you welcome to come back home, this, that, and the other. I still wish you'd have got that $250, but you know, we go to the epilogue. Where's JJ? He sold some paintings. I think he's going to get something. And he walks in and he's wearing, look, I'm going to be first to say, I think sometimes people like to talk about the 70s, but those were the clothes they were wearing. But I think in JJ's clothing, they got extra, extra. Don't you think? I feel like they got real extra with JJ sometimes. Am I wrong?
But JJ was extra, extra. So, bro, I mean that fit JJ's persona to a T, bro. JJ was extra, extra. And what JJ gonna buy? Extra, extra.
Dog, that was my borderline. That was borderline. I was like, is this a menstrual moment?
I was about to be your Shagu moment. Yeah,
bro.
Yeah.
I was, because he came in and he did the little extra. I was like, oh, well, now, you know, what can I? Oh yeah, wait. It was kind of close to it, bro. It was kind of close. That's all I'm saying.
I can feel you on that one.
I also thought that Mike had some moments. I don't know. He's imitating JJ. We just miss him.
We haven't even gotten my Shagu moment. Are we doing Shagu moments?
Yeah, I mean, menstrual moment. Yeah.
My Shagu moment is when Michael went, Dynamite. Yeah, that was a little too much for me, Michael. Michael might. I'm starting to think that Michael may be MVP for by the end of season 1 for Shagu. He might be MVS, most valuable Shagu.
I'm thinking early on, man. I just think the early years. I think the writers like, yeah, we like that. Because as he got older, it kind of.
That's why he got two. That's why he got these two guys directing one episode, because they don't know how black people act. And they think that they know. They think that if they put their heads together, somehow they're gonna figure out how black people act.
I'm gonna tell you, I'm staying by my quote of the show. Oh, son, it's rough out here. You'll be back before your suitcase stop rocking. When James said that's my quote of the show.
Oh, my quote of the show. I actually had two. I had to go. I can't ever. Florida's quote may end up being a quote emeritus at some point in time, because I hope he hasn't been finding things. Is eventually going into the quote Hall of Fame. And well, you got your hat, get your coat.
That's a good. He had a good rhythm to that. I'm telling you, there's a tie. I got to give it a tie, because that was a good one. You got your hat, get your coat. Go on now. Is this still an issue in the black community? Grudges.
Yeah. You know what? I was trying to think of an issue and grudges. I didn't even think of that one. That's basically what the show is about.
It's a grudge, bro. It's a 20-year grudge, bro. Grudge, black people.
Yeah, we hold a grudge.
Boy, 1989 heat, yeah. We hold grudges. I'm
gonna tell you what's funny. There are a lot of areas where I'm a regular, mature adult, but they got about one or two things where I'm just like, nah, I'm gonna have to hang on to this one. I'm just gonna have to hang on and just be immature about it, and it's just a grudge. I'm just gonna have to hold on to it.
Yeah.
But it happened, blah 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 blah. Yeah.
But
I'm talking about something I'm thinking about from high school. That's a whole nother story,
man.
And it wasn't even from somebody. It wasn't even from somebody who went to my high school. It was just something that I saw happen, and it wasn't really a grudge. It was more so a viewpoint of this person. I just remember. I'll play it to you like this. This was a quote. This was the quote. Hey, what's up? You gonna help your boy? No, indeed. That ain't my business.
Wow. Let me tell you something.
Wow. You gonna let your boy just get whipped up on like that?
Wow. I got this guy. I know this guy. Well, I don't know. He was one of the children. Our father was in a group, was in a social club, and we all had people had children kind of similar ages, and there was a guy in the group, and his son, he got invited to I was in my single digits, a birthday party, and we held it at Grandma Cato's house in the backyard. You know how small that yard was. All I remember was, and I don't remember what I did, but I remember he snitched me out at my birthday party, and all I remember was Esther Jones Cato said, "Rod email." And he was standing right next to her, looking like Oliver Hardy. So I was like, now mind you, if I saw him today, I'd be like, "Hey, what's up, whatever." But I told her,
hey man, some things just hold on to, bro.
Dude, I never forgot. But I was like, you snitched. I can't remember what it was. I said, you snitched me out at my birthday.
Bro.
It was the embarrassment. It was the embarrassment of Grandma going at me in front of everybody. I was like,
bro, some things, bro, some things you see, I can't really think. I have to think, though, again, about, like, things that actually affected me. But I won't even say it was I think it's my maturity I'm describing of seeing the person like, man, this person's an adult. You know, XYZ. No, I still see the person where I said, man, what's up? No, it wasn't even, you know what? It wasn't even me who said that. It was, Derek. It was my boy Derek who turned around and said, "Hey, dang, what's up, man? You gonna help your boy?" No, indeed. Goodness.
Anything
bro,
unrealistic.
I remember that like it was yesterday. Unrealistic? No, I didn't have anything.
I think the way Leroy approached James, because if that was Robert email, he just said, "You know who the hell I am." So, Rob? Because he says James Evans, like he did like James. Boy, you know who the hell I am.
But also, it doesn't seem like they've seen each other in like. It doesn't seem like they've seen each other in like 20 plus years.
Dude, they haven't, because he's holding his, like, he last time he saw him, he threw him out because he lost the $250, bro. That's like imagine your good friend, just the way he talked, like they was tight, they was thick as thieves or whatever, and it's like, he let me down. Only dad nostalgia, and I said it already. He took my clothes. That hat? I paid for that.
I really don't have any dad nostalgia as much as I just would not have the gall to talk back to dad. Like JJ saying, "Well, maybe I'll move out." Whoa.
They've never, when they talk back, it's never with attitude.
Oh, it's never.
But they stand strong.
On, bro.
Yeah, I know.
Bob, I don't care how respectful you are.
Not in my house. Yeah, you're right. You're right about that. Yeah.
I don't care how respectful you are.
Who you talking to?
Yeah.
Who you talking to? Whoa. I'm trying to wait. I'm looking back. I'm trying to see who you talking to, because I know you're not talking to me. I know you're not talking to me. Oh my God, man! This is
You had a background Brent quote?
I did not.
I actually did. James, when JJ had already left the house, and James was trying to butter back up to the family.
Uh-huh.
And then basically, once James figured out that, okay, I can't really butt up, so I just need to turn back into my regular self. I don't know what the conversation was with Michael. I just remember he said, "You better pull that lip in."
He said that I ain't got. He said that You got mama to argue with. I ain't got nobody. And you better pull that lip. He did. I remember, yeah. He did.
Better pull that lip in.
That was the equivalent of, you better fix your face. You better fix your face. That is just a jewel in the black community right there. I know
Oh, fix your face? Oh, yeah. Fix your face.
Fix your face.
You know what your mom used to tell me? And I obviously I did it when I was really younger. And I stopped it when I was real younger too. Sometimes she would say something and I might go like this. Your mama be like, boy, you better not cut your eyes at me.
Cut your eyes at me. You know what? I had said and I forgot what show. I had said fix your face. And the white person in the room said, why do you fix your face? Like, is it bro? Like, is there something like wrong? Like, do they have palsy?
No, man. No, man.
It was funny when they said, like, well, is it like, do they have palsy?
But wow, I have never heard that. Like, wow, to think that when you sell, like, even if somebody did have, like cerebral palsy, like, to think that somebody would think that you are actually saying to a person with cerebral palsy to fix your face.
You know what?
Really?
The person was trying to understand when I.
Sometimes, bro, you just need to keep it to yourself, bro. That's ridiculous, bro. Bro, that is ridiculous, bro. Why would you think that, bro? Somebody, you say fix your face, and they actually think that you may be referring to a person with cerebral palsy. You've got to be the worst person on earth, or you're just trying to start something, bro. You can't. What was it Martin Luther King said? The two most dangerous things on the planet are sincere ignorance and conscientious stupidity, bro. That's got to be the dumbest thing I've ever heard, bro. Like, bro, how cruel do you have to be, bro? There are characters in movies. Bruh, I don't even think the Joker, as cruel as he is in Batman, would ever make a joke like that, bruh. Like,
the joke would be like, oh, God, that is horrible. What is wrong with you? I'm a bad person, but my God.
Like, come on, bruh.
Oh.
I really had to settle in what you just said, like, palsy? Like everything was going fine with what you were explaining. Like, okay, I get it. You know, in the black community, we say, you know, fix your face, and they don't get it. And then they're like, what do you mean? And then they just take it one step further, bruh.
It was. Hey, in the moment, I'm telling you, it was fun.
It's like, you know, it's like my, you know, Jason Whitlock, bruh. I remember. Yeah. But I remember back, you know, before he just got ridiculously crazy with everything. I remember my boy Ron, he mentioned this, and I said, yeah, that's the perfect way to describe him, which it was, he would say things that were like, yeah, that makes sense. But then he would just take it a step further and just go a little bit too far with it. That's the person you was talking to. They were fine with everything that they were asking. You know, just I'm ignorant, and then they just say, it was almost like they were thinking about it. They were like, I'll go ahead and ask, is it palsy? I wish that was me. I would have been like, are you serious? Are you really, really serious?
Hey man, I wish I could have reacted like that, but I didn't. Because when it was said, I just laughed.
No, because I can understand. You kind of caught off guard. Like sometimes you caught off guard with something, and you don't think about it probably until like 2-3 hours later. Then after you've seen the person, you're like, man, I can't believe that dude, woman or whatever, asked me if I was referring to palsy. That's so cruel. Anyway.
Been quite enjoyable doing the episode.
Hey, I do want to throw this out. I keep forgetting to say, hey, if you we're on YouTube, at the blacklog. So if
We on
please subscribe.
Spotify?
Yeah,
Black
subscribe, subscribe, and like. No, is it like? Yeah, I guess like. Yeah, you subscribe, and like our page, and if you got some comments about something, let us know.
Shout out to two of our viewers,
Yeah,
Paul Ransor Jr. and Patricia Simmons in New Orleans.
Yeah. Hey, make sure if it's something that you heard that we said that you thought may have been a little off. Hey, let us know. We like to
Don't cuss us out, but
don't do that.
Don't do that.
I'm not gonna do that. That's not nice.
Just be nice. Just be nice,
And,
but critique. Just be observant. That's all.
And we're also on Spotify, Apple Podcasts. Give us 5 stars if you listen to us via Apple Podcasts. And if you don't like us, still give us 5 stars. We'll try to do better next time.
So yeah, from the Blacklog, from Ryan.
What's coming up next, man?
Ooh, what's coming up next?
I'm about to pull it up, man. I got to know what episodes are next, bro. On Good Time, man.
Philip Michael Thomas of Miami Vice fame. I think he does a guest spot.
It is, Sex and the Evans Family. And Junior the Senior.
Ooh. Junior the Senior. I will never forget that response at the end. Yes, that was a good one, man. So
I do. Since you have your dog up, do you notice that dogs all over seem very anxious?
I mean, they're happy.
They seem concerned. All dogs that I see now are concerned. Like you can't even back in the day, you could ride your bike past a dog, and the dog would just be like, or he might just turn and look at you. Now when I ride past dogs, man, they're looking at me, man. They can hear you coming from the back. They're looking at you like, oh God, is he gonna roll over me? Is he gonna kick me? I don't know what's wrong with dogs these days, man.
You've seen dogs totally different than me. I guess because I'm dealing with this one.
Yeah.
Hey, from Ryan, Rod, and even Kirby. Till next week on the Blacklog.